If you're a serious creator, coach, or consultant, you probably know this feeling. You're putting thoughtful content into the world. People tell you they love your work. They save your posts, forward your emails, even send you long DMs with questions. But when you finally put an offer in front of them, things get very quiet. Suddenly it's, "I'll think about it," "maybe later," or just no response at all. That gap between people loving your content and people buying your offer is not a sign that you're bad at what you do. Most of the time, it's a sign that the offer they're looking at feels fuzzy, risky, or like a lot of work. In other words, it looks like a nice to have, not a no-brainer. In this mini course, I want to help you fix that. We'll take a few of the core ideas from Alex Hormozi's book, $100M Offers, and translate them into a simple 7-day sprint you can use to rebuild your main offer. By the end, you'll have a clearer, sharper offer that feels easier to say yes to without discounting or turning yourself into someone you're not. On this slide, you can see the gap we're talking about. On the left, we have audience love. This is where a lot of creators live. People tell you they love your content. They say you're smart. They reply to your emails. They ask thoughtful questions in your DMs. All the signals say, you're doing something right. In the middle, there's that invisible drop-off. As soon as an actual offer shows up something with a price tag, everything slows down. Responses turn into, "I'll think about it," "maybe later," or silence. That's the crickets moment. On the right, you see quiet sales. This part is important. Quiet sales are not proof that you're not good enough. They're a signal that your offer, as it's currently framed, feels fuzzy, risky, or heavy to your audience. It sits in their brain as a nice-to-have something they might get to someday, rather than the obvious next step. This sprint is about closing that gap. We're going to reshape your main offer so that the people who already trust you can finally see it as the clear, practical way to solve a problem they care about. Let's get concrete about what we're aiming for. At the top of the slide, you can see the definition. A no-brainer offer is one where the perceived value is so much higher than the price that saying no almost feels silly. On the left is a vague offer, the kind a lot of us start with. Something like 8 weeks of coaching to help you grow in life and business. It's not that this is wrong. It's just that it forces the buyer to do all the mental work. They have to guess what will actually happen, what result they might get, and whether it's worth the effort. On the right is a stronger version of the same underlying work. Here, the offer says, over 8 weeks, we'll rebuild your positioning, redesign your flagship offer, and ship a simple sales page you can confidently send to prospects. Same person, similar skills, but the second one is clear, specific, and much easier to picture. A no-brainer offer feels clear, safe, and easy to say yes to. The outcome is concrete. The path is specific, and the buyer feels like they understand what they're getting into. That's where we're heading with your offer in this sprint. This slide introduces one of the key ideas from $100M Offers, the value equation. You can think of every offer as a balance between what someone dreams about and what they're worried about. On one side of the scale, we have the dream outcome and the perceived likelihood of success. When those feel strong, value goes up. On the other side of the scale, we have time delay and effort and sacrifice. When those feel heavy, value goes down. Your offer becomes a no-brainer when the dream outcome and the likelihood of success feel high, and the time delay and effort feel low compared to the alternatives. In this 7-day sprint, we're going to tune each of these 4 levers for your main offer so that the scale tips much more clearly toward yes. Before we dive into day 1, let's zoom out and look at the whole sprint. Across the slide, you can see 7 simple steps. Day 1 is choose your flagship offer. Day 2 is define your best fit buyer. Day 3 is clarify the dream outcome. Day 4 is design the believable path. Day 5 is reduce time, effort, and risk. Day 6 is draft your offer statements. And day 7 is ship and observe. We're not trying to rebuild your entire business in a week. We're taking one offer you care about and running it through a focused, practical redesign. Each day gives you one decision or one piece of thinking to complete. By day 7, you'll have an offer that's sharper, clearer, and easier for the right people to say yes to. Day 1 is about focus. A lot of creators and coaches have a whole menu of things. One-to-one coaching, a group program, a course, maybe a membership, maybe some templates. From your side, it all tells a story. From the buyer's side, it can feel like noise. So today, I want you to be ruthless and pick one flagship offer. Pick the offer you want to be known for, the one you'd be happy to deliver again and again, the one that you believe creates the most meaningful results for your best clients. Your action step is simple. Write down the current name of that offer, and then force yourself to write a single sentence that describes what it is. Don't worry if that sentence is ugly or vague right now, that's normal. The goal of day 1 is just to declare, this is the thing I'm going to sharpen over the next week. A no-brainer offer is never for everyone who might be interested. It's designed for a narrow slice of people who care a lot about a specific outcome. On day 2, your job is to define that slice, your best fit buyer. Ask yourself 3 questions. Who are they? Where are they on their journey? And what are the stakes if this works or doesn't work for them? Once you've thought this through, write a short paragraph that begins with, "This offer is built for," and describe a real person you can picture. The clearer this is to you, the easier it will be for them to recognize themselves in your offer. Now that you know who this is for, we need to define what success actually looks like for them. On day 3, ask yourself what they would brag about to a friend if this worked perfectly, and what kind of screenshot, number, or story would prove real change. Write 1 to 3 sentences that describe a visible, meaningful change in their world, using their language, not jargon. This dream outcome is what your entire offer will orbit around. On day 4, we turn a big promise into a believable journey. Sketch 3 to 5 milestones that take your buyer from where they are now to the dream outcome. Decide what actually happens at each step: calls, reviews, templates, feedback, or implementation work. When buyers can see this path, their perceived likelihood of success goes up, and your offer starts to feel structured and trustworthy instead of vague support. Day 5 is where we soften the frictions that quietly kill good offers. Look at your offer and ask where it feels slow, heavy, or risky. Then, reduce those frictions with early wins, templates, guarantees, or a tighter scope. You don't need to promise miracles, but compared to alternatives, your offer should feel faster, more guided, and safer to try. By day 6, we turn thinking into words. Use the sentence pattern. I help who get specific result in time frame through format, approach, without common pain objection. Write at least 3 versions, emphasizing speed, depth, or safety. Notice which one feels truest and most exciting to say out loud. Day 7 is where the sprint enters the real world. Choose your sharpest offer statement and put it somewhere visible: your site, bio, video, or newsletter. Then observe. Listen to how people respond, the language they repeat, and how conversations change. A no-brainer offer is shaped in dialogue with the market. Let's recap the 7 days. You chose one flagship offer, defined the buyer, clarified the dream outcome, designed a believable path, reduced friction, wrote clear offer statements, and tested one in the wild. You didn't change who you are. You made your value easier to understand and say yes to. From here, keep tuning the 4 levers: dream outcome, likelihood of success, time delay, and effort. If you want to actually do this sprint, you can download a 1-page worksheet and the full transcript using the link on this slide. Use the worksheet over 7 days as a working document. And if this was useful, consider subscribing to Creator Playbooks, where big ideas become practical sprints for creator businesses.